Hello there. Today we are going to have a video tutorial on the topic how to make object in Unturned. Since this is first mod on this series, we will also look how to set up Unity and the export setting. Let's start with what we need. First, we need Unity, Blender, Notepad++. Go to the R forum, link available under video. Find download the Unity Hub link. Download Unity Hub and install. Next, find the link to download Notepad++ and install. Now go to Unturned website. You can see information about the current version. Click on the link. Choose the version what you need and click on install. I already have this version, so I don't need to install it, but you does. Now go to the Steam, find Blender. Install it in the free program. To understand our model size, we must download character model Unturned. Go to our site, click on this link and download. Click on the download button and download as FBX. About the model and textures. You can use any program for modeling and texturing, but the most popular are Blender and Photoshop. As for Blender, I recommended you watch additional lesson on modeling, because Blender is a separate topic. I will only show you what you need to know for Unturned. Now add the model to the stage. Click on File, Import, FBX, find our model and import FBX. Now let's create a simple model of a house. Now what you need to pay attention to: openings for doors, windows, hatch should be made under Unturned. On our side you can see that size. Let's make example models for our opening. Pay attention, the doors in Unturned are not perfect and they have gaps in the opening. So to hide them, we make a separate object for the frame for doors and windows and hatch. Now make it as separate object. We need it in future. Now let's create texture. I use Adobe Photoshop to create the texture, but today we will create a simple texture in Paint. As for texture size, for better optimization, create texture with side size to the power of 2, for example 64, 256. In Unturned usually use flat colors, so just follow me. Save texture on your desktop. Now drag texture into Blender. Open UV editor. And drag your texture here. Open material setting. New. Diffuse. Click on color. Image texture and find your texture. Now let's paint our model. Now create an additional simplet model for the lot. What's mean level of detail? You can create a simplet model using modifier or by your hand. And also made model for skybox. That is a model that will be visible from anywhere on the map. Now open Unity and click on New Project. Set your name. And create project. Wait the project creating adding. Your project is ready. Let's make Unturned setting for our project. Click Open Scan and go to the Unturned directory. That's how to looks your way to Unturned directory. Open that folder and open Project Unity package. Click to open. Import. And again import. And wait to ending. After this, again open to the file, open scan, and choose another file on the same folder. There is Unturned example mods and materials and models to them. In the future, you can take this example mod and convert it into your own model. But to understand each component, we will create object ourselves. Now your project ready. And now you can see examples of the Unturned mods. But now we will create our own mod. Click on right button, create, and choose folder. Name this folder like you want. Create another folder for our mod. Now create prefab. Name it like object. Drag the prefab into hierarchy. Now create empty. Name it component like model 0. Click on add component. Let's make new component. Find the load component. Delete this part. Move red part to 3%. That part move to 10%. Now let's add our model to Unity. Click on right button and choose Show Explorer. Copy the way to your folder, go to Blender, choose all objects, then File, Export, FBX. But before, make sure that your model have normal size. For check it, go to Object, Apply, Rotation and Scale. Then go to File, Export, FBX, paste your way, choose selected objects and export. Now we must make Unturned setting. Just look what I do and follow me. That is smooth parameter to the model. Unturned usually use 45, but I usually use 35. Go to rig, animation setting, material setting, and go to apply button. Now to save the setting to the template, click here, save, choose the folder, and click on save again. Next time for set setting to your object, you can use template. Now drag your texture into the Unity and set the Unturned setting to the texture. Follow me. Also for texture, save the template. Now find component mesh filter and also mesh render. These components are required to display your model and its texture. Now choose your model and drag to mesh render component. Now create material. Right click, create material. Drag your texture into material. Remove this parameter. Now drag your material into the model. Now let's create load system. Copy your model 0 and also we will add the frames to your model. Drag your frame model to the model 1. Copy again, name it like model 2 and drag your model to the model 2. Now drag your model 0 to the first load and also make it for model 1. Our easy model drag to second load. Now you can see how to load its works. Now let's create physician component for your model. Make new game object and name it like clip. Now find the mesh collider component. Drag your model to this component. For what need this component? This component is required to physically represent our model. That means the interaction of the model with the character. Without this component, your object will be transparent in the physical sense, and that means the player will be able to pass through. A little explain. We only provide a physical component for the basic house model. We don't create an additional component for frames. Why? If we do this, the door and house colliders will be intersect. My object is made of bricks and concrete. Therefore, let's choose the concrete material for it. Find concrete static component. After find, double click. And after, choose all game object. Now let's set the layers and tags for our object. The big objects usually use large tags and layers. Additional information about layers and tags you can see on Unturned website. A link will be available on our forum. Now let's save our prefab setting. Click on Object, override this, and apply all. Now let's create physical interaction for animals and zombie. Copy object, right-click, prefab, unpack. What is meaning? This unbinds your prefab and allows you to edit without changing the main prefab. Let's go to the next step. Name it this prefab like now. Delete the load component and also delete our all models. Keep only the clip component. Change the text and layers on the nav mesh. And drag it to our folder. Copy our object prefab again. Name it like skybox. Delete all components, save only model 0. Also delete the load. Remind you, skybox needs to visible your objects from any position on the map. To save, drag this prefab to your folder. Also pay attention. You can move object prefab in Unity as you like. This doesn't affect anything. The position in the game is affected by movement of the model 0, 1, 2, and also clip. Now let's create slots for doors, window, and hatch. Copy your component again, unpack. That prefab have name slots. Let's check if it's right name. Yeah, it is. Let's go next. Delete all and choose text and layers on logic. Now create empty component and go to the R forum. The name depends on which slot what you need. For example, door slot, name it like door. And now you can see all slots what you can use in Unturned. And now we must also copy rotation coordinates for slots and collider size. Now just repeat after me. Copy your rotation setting. Now create box collider component. Copy box collider size setting from our forum to your box collider. Attention, if you didn't see setting like this on our forum, just set 0. Now move your slot to our opening form door. Just like me. Now something like this. Now copy our slot and paste. Let's create slot for window. Window for our slot, name it like slot. Copy the rotation setting. And now copy the collider setting. Now name it like slot. And move to our window. Pay attention. If you change these parameters, in theory the slot will work, but there may be a bug with the wrong location of the barricade. But it will be good if your barricade is non-standard size. But these colliders are made for standard size. But this does not apply to the ladder slot and the window slot. This slot accepts not only shooters, but also barricades and glass. If you expand this slot to the entire plane, then glass can be placed anywhere with the ladder parameter. The situation is similar. The bigger the collider is, the more clipping space will be available to you. It can be suitable for long ladders, for example. Now let's create slot to the hatch. Hatch slot have same name, hatch. Set this name. Now let's copy rotation size. And next, let's copy the collider size. Pay attention, hatch slot have 0 parameter on y-axis, but 2 to z. Now move it to our hatch opening. Now let's create slot to the R ladder. He have name climb. Copy and paste your name here. Now copy the rotation setting. And now collider setting. Now, to this place you can put your ladder in the game. Now, if you have another wall with door opening, you can rotate your slot to this wall, like this. It also works not only for doors, also for window and gate. Now for save it, drag your prefab to our model. And don't forget, set the right wires and X to your slots. Don't forget. Now let's create an emission for it. For this we need an additional texture. Open the paint. And open our texture. Wait on light color pixel with the use for the color what we need to change. In my case, it's the roof frame. Paint in light colors, but background paint to the black color. Save it and also drag to Unity. Now open your material, click on emission flag and drag your emission texture to the emission component setting. Now you can see like emission works. Now, exist are two ways to save this mod. The first, the old one, Unity 3D file. Such files take up more space, and they are also separate from other mods. So sharing the same materials in the game to save resource will not be possible. Models and texture will be duplicated. But if you need make only one mod, it will be better. If you have a lot mods, it is better to use master bundle. How to create master bundle we will look in the future lesson. Now let's make that file to our mods. Go to Unturned folder in the bundles. Next objects, and let's take Nelson examples and just change it. Name this folder like you want. Also, pass this name to your .dat file. Name your folder and name your .dat file must be same. Open your .dat file with Notepad. If you don't have Notepad++ installed by default, right-click, edit with Notepad++. Now let's go make next step. What we must do? Now we must do a special identifier for this mod. About ID. I've recommended to take ID from 15,000 up to 64,000. You can generate your GUID for special site. Go to the R forum and find the links to this site. Click on generate some GUID, copy it and paste to your mod. And also, since this is a Unity file, it used the old system. For this to work, we need to copy the special lines and pass them into the folder. Don't forget to put these lines on your old mod, because it's a common mistake where people forget to insert these lines and look mistake in wrong place. Go to the R forum and copy these lines. Now copy way to your folder and go to Unity. Click on your folder, Window, Unturned, Bundle tool. Next, grab and bundle. Paste away on this window and name your model file as like your folder. Now just wait for bundling. Usually it's doing faster. Now go to the R folder and you can see your mod is here. Now we must choose the name for our mod to the Unturned editor. Go to the English file. Choose any name like you want. Now let's go to the game and check it how it works. Go to the your map on we can create new map. Click level, object. Search your file and set it on the ground to test it. Now let's check it. Save the map and go into the game. Open our map. You can see building exists. Let's check physical component. All works good. Now let's check our slots to the door. You can see slot well. Now you can see with an example why we needed the door frames. Now, pay attention. This lesson explains how to make the simplest object. In future tutorials, we will show how to make the most complex ones, like animate doors. You can also look the Nelson examples and find how other types to objects work. Also, I recommended reading the Unturned site. Now, where you can get it? Go to the R forum, click on first link, and find object section. Find. We hide somewhere here. Where is it? Oh, find. You can see additional setting for the object with a full description. And not only for object. For now, it's all. If you have any questions, please contact us. Our contacts will be available on the description to this video.